2025 and beyond is bringing a lot of changes to Walt Disney World, and especially Magic Kingdom. Let's take a look at what is changing and what are still my thrills and chills. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roaming Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. If you remember, I mentioned at the end of the Festival of the Arts episode that Disney World feels, well, a little weird right now. And that's really due to closures, changes, upcoming additions. And I don't want you to think it's all bad. It's just different. So today I want to share what is different in Magic Kingdom and what I still think are the thrills and chills in that park. Now, as a reminder, because I haven't done one of these episodes for a bit, thrills and chill refer to how my husband and I like to do theme parks. He loves all the thrill rides, and I tend to sit them all out due to motion sickness and a little anxiety around motion sickness. So I tend to find things that are a little more chill to do while he's in line and on those rides. But before I go any further, I really want to address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Or is it 500? I don't know. But let's address the big gorilla in the room. There is a lot of talk right now going on about how expensive Disney is. And I'm not here to dispute that. Because listen, we paid $12 a beer in January, which is insane. I asked for two beers, they told me $24 every time, and I kept thinking, no, I only ordered two. But I digress. I just feel like traveling anywhere popular right now is really expensive. So I did a little research and I checked pricing at other theme parks, big and small, and I even checked hotel prices in Washington D.C. and everything is high. It's crazy. So I'm not going to bore you with my theme park math that I went and looked at prices of tickets and park hoppers and hotel prices at different places. Um, I just know that traveling and everything else is really expensive right now. And you know, I hope really my goal is to give you information that helps you decide, not based on price, but whether you want to look into a trip, make the most out of your trip, and just enjoy theme parks and amusement parks your way. Or just totally skip them. Like if it's not your thing or the cost is too high, like I get it. Don't worry. I mean, Disney's not paying me for these episodes. I'm here to help and hopefully entertain you. And so enough math. I was good at math, but I don't love it. So let's talk about Magic Kingdom and what it's like right now and what I think is worth riding and checking out. Now, you didn't think we could go much longer without at least one sentence or two of history, right? So, Magic Kingdom opened on October 1st, 1971, and it's the original park at Walt Disney World. It has the most rides and attractions, and in my opinion, no trip to Walt Disney World is complete without spending some time in Magic Kingdom. Like, if you're going to do one park, um, and you don't have other priorities, other fandom priorities, I feel like Magic Kingdom is that park. There's so much history there, and there's just some attractions that I think are important to, check out. Now, there are several ways to get to Magic Kingdom, and it really depends on where you're coming from. So if you're on resort, you can get a bus, boat, or monorail, or walk directly to the park. And again, this is really depending on which hotel you're staying at on resort. If you are off resort, you must go to the transportation center and then take a bus, boat, or monorail. Good news at the transportation center, there is a Joffrey's, so grab your coffee early. Um, Now we're going to take a walk around the park, land by land. This is what I like to do. And I want to discuss what rides, attractions are currently there, what is different this year in 2025, and what I like to ride. And at the end, I'll give you some food options as well as just some overall tips that I think might be helpful. So, walking into the park, the first thing I'm probably going to do when I hit Main Street USA is I'm going to tear up at the sight of the castle. But honestly, if you've been listening for a while, you know that's no surprise. I'm also going to enjoy watching people see the castle for like the first time. It's so sweet and fun to watch people react, of all ages too, like kids and adults seeing their kids see it for the first time. It's just really cool to see that sort of moment, that first time moment. And as I talked about in my Easter egg episode, in the Magic Kingdom, you know there are lots of details to look for, mostly at the windows as you walk down the street. So as you're looking up, please be careful and don't roll your ankle in those dang trolley tracks. Man, those things are, I know they're there, but I get so looking around, I almost always trip. So look down, make sure you know where those tracks are. No rolled ankles this time, all right? So rides and attractions around Main Street USA, really, there's the railroad is the ride. There's entertainment and characters and stuff, but you can get on the railroad and you can get over to Adventureland and Fantasyland. So, if you're trying to make a beeline over there and aren't in a hurry, that's a good way to do it. What's different right now in Main Street USA? Well, when we were there in January, there were actually construction walls up in the Emporium, which makes that store much smaller. It also makes it harder to use the store as a passageway during parades. I'm not sure how long this is gonna be like that, but like I said, it's definitely gonna affect traffic. So, see when you're there. Again, this is not a like make or break kind of thing. Um, but you may want to, as you're walking in, see if it's still there, just so you know how to plan your exit if it's during a parade. Now, things I think you should do. If you see characters you like in the front square, definitely take some time there. There's a Mickey Mouse in the front. He's a really great Mickey Mouse. Visit him, go get your picture in there. There's a shop also sort of tucked in the back corner near where you visit Mickey Mouse, so, you don't wanna miss that. That has some really cool stuff. And, of course, you're gonna take a picture in front of the castle. I don't care how long you've been going there, it's a must. Though, pro tip, well, I don't think it's a pro tip, sorry, I'm not gonna call myself that. Um, there are some really great views of the castle from the side, so keep those in mind as well as another picture option. Now, typically I would head left at the hub because I'm usually heading to get in line to Jungle Cruise, but today we're gonna head right and go to Tomorrowland. So in Tomorrowland, there are the following rides slash attractions. There is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Space Mountain, Tomorrowland Speedway, Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover, that's a mouthful, Tron Light Cycle Run, and Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. So the one thing I did not mention is the Astro Orbiter because that's being refurbished right now. And at least it was in January, and it's really you don't realize how much that ride is part of like the view in Tomorrowland. So it's really weird sort of entering Tomorrowland and not seeing that up in the air. So yeah, that was just one of those like you sort of take that view for granted and it wasn't there. So that was interesting. But there was a huge crane that was, like, in the middle of Tomorrowland that they had, like, a wall up around, but, I guess they were using that while taking the cars down from the Astro Orbiter. I think I saw someone say that that crane is now gone, which is good because it was really big. The things that you should do in Tomorrowland. If you like thrill rides, these are pretty much your two biggest thrill rides in the park right now, Space Mountain and Tron. If you are not a thrill seeker, you're more into the chills. Um, the People Mover is one of my favorites. I love to get on that and just ride it around. It goes through Space Mountain, so you sort of get that feel. And Carousel of Progress, they're just fun and nostalgic rides. And attractions. So, check them out. I'm also probably grabbing a coffee at Joffrey's because it's the only official Joffrey stand in the park that I know of. I think some of the other stands do like the cold brew or some other things, but that is the one official Joffrey's, and they really need more coffee stands in the parks, please. Epcot has it right. There's a lot more, so I would like to see the other parks step that up, please, because the coffee stands are very popular, and Joffrey's is becoming more and more popular, which is good because it's delicious. So now we head over to Fantasyland, and this area is huge. There's so many rides. It's the highest concentration of people, especially families, small children, and strollers. So let me get through this list. Let me see what I got going here. We have Ariel's Grotto, which is an Ariel meet and greet, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Enchanted Tales with Belle, It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Peter Pan's Flight, Pete's Silly Sideshow, Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, Prince's Fairy Tale Hall, which is also characters. So is Pete's Silly Sideshow. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, The Barnstormer, which is the sort of entry family roller coaster for kids. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. Cool. Like, there's as many rides in this section of the park than full rides in other parks. I mean, it's a lot. Right now, what's different? I believe the only thing different is that the bathrooms near the Pinocchio restaurant finally reopened. Um, we didn't spend a lot of time in this area, so nothing glaring stood out to me. I don't think any of the rides were refurbished or anything. So, what do I think is a must in this area? I have to say it's a small world. It's it's a classic. I know people make fun of it. They make fun of the song. I don't know. It's just something I think needs to be done when you're there. Um it's it's just fun. It's just joy. Just roll with it. From a ride point of view, I guess in this area, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Ride is for you. It's not a crazy coaster. I think they call it like a family coaster, but I have to tell you, I went on it once and I can't go on it again. I've got really nauseous on it, and I didn't know why until we got off and watched. Um, the cart that you're in sort of sways left and right, sort of has that motion. Totally triggered my motion sickness. So I don't go on it anymore. Um, John doesn't ride it because the line's usually so long, and he rather stand in line for Tron, Space Mountain, or Big Thunder Mountain if it's open. So, take that in mind. You know, if you haven't been on it, you're a big Snow White fan, maybe it's worth your time. Go for it. If you need a break from the heat in this area or the cold or the rain, go watch Mickey's PhilharMagic. It's a cute air conditioned, and climate controlled. It's not a must do, but it's just a nice way to get out of the crowds and the weather. It's a cute like 3D movie experience. It's a good time. Pete's Silly Sideshow has what I think are some of the best character experiences with Goofy and Donald in all the parks. We have some great pictures, some great memories with them. Daisy and Minnie are also there. Their lines are usually much longer, but Goofy and Donald are usually your wait is because they're spending so much time with each group. So they're a lot of fun. Check them out if you are Goofy and Donald fans. Now, as you're coming out from visiting Goofy and Donald, grab yourself some caramel popcorn in that store. It's the same Werther's caramel popcorn that you can get in the German Pavilion and Epcot. It's such a good snack. And it comes in a nice bag, so you can pop it in your backpack or purse or whatever for later. Now, next, we're heading to Liberty Square, and this this is an area that is going to be in transition as well. We have the Hall of Presidents, the Haunted Mansion, and Liberty Square Riverboat. Honestly, I shouldn't have even said the Hall of Presidents because it's closed right now, or it was when we were there in January. Honestly, I've never been in there. I think it's a 45-minute show, and at this point, I don't do we need the Hall of Presidents? Could we change it to something else? Like, I don't know. Like, let's let the Muppets perform Hamilton in there or something. You're taking away Muppet Vision. Give us something else. Give us Muppets singing Hamilton. I'm there for that. Um, and as of when I'm recording this, the riverboat is still running, but I don't think that's going to be for much longer. They got their permit approval for the changes in that area. And when they drain that river, it is going to totally change that area. And I'm really interested to see how it looks and what they do there. I know they're adding, I mean, I know what they're doing. They're adding the Cars ride, but just sort of how that approach is going to do. Things to do in that area. Did you even go to Magic Kingdom if you didn't ride Haunted Mansion? It's a fun ride. It's a little strange, but it's a fun time. It's cool to see, and I just feel like you have to. That's one of the must, I think, in the park. Next up is Frontierland. Another area going through major changes. Right now, the rides and attractions are Country Bear Jamboree, which is new, an updated Tom Sawyer Island, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Like I said, this area is going to be totally different in the future. Big Thunder Mountain is currently closed for, I think, like a 1-year refurbishment. I know they're putting all new railings in, and I just think it's going to be closed because of the Cars ride going in. So, it'll be interesting. Tom Sawyer Island, again, is sort of like the riverboat. I don't know how much longer it's going to be there because it's going to go away to make room for the Cars ride. Things you should do there. This is the frustrating thing with having Big Thunder Mountain down. It's the only roller coaster that I usually ride, but it was closed. So the only thing I really recommend is the Country Bear Jamboree. It's really cute. It's really fun. They updated it, so it's all Disney songs. Um, I just really enjoyed it. Again, get you out of the weather and get you out of the crowds. John loved Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That was his first time on it in January. He's so sweet. He took so many pictures and videos for me so I could see the animatronics. So definitely check that out if you don't mind drops and getting a little bit wet. But and the good news, I guess, is as of this week, on the 25th, the virtual queues are gone. They were being removed from Tiana's and from Guardians. So it will be back to a standby wait ride. No getting up at 7 and trying to get into the virtual queue. You'll just be getting up at 7 to start making your lightning lane reservations if you purchased one of those. So next up is Adventureland, and this area probably has the most rides that I go on. Jungle Cruise, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which if you're not familiar, has this sort of same mechanism as Dumbo, and I would go on Dumbo rather than Magic Carpets if you have a choice. Pirates of the Caribbean, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, and the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Right now, what is different there? Well, there is construction going on at the treehouse, but you can still walk up and explore it. Other than that, the only other thing is the store connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. is still under construction because that's where the new lounge is going. So I'm really interested and excited to check that out when it opens, um, and to see, what the offerings in there are gonna be. In this area, I have 2 definites that you have to do, or I feel you have to do, and 1 bonus if you have the time, or need a weather break. I Jungle Cruise to me is a must as well as Pirates. I enjoy both of them. The storytelling on them, you get a good skipper on Jungle Cruise, you're gonna be laughing the whole time. Um, go with the puns, go with the fun, just enjoy yourself. I see people who take it too serious, and it's just like, please just relax and have fun with it. Also in the Jungle Cruise, look at the stuff in the queue. There's so many little fun things and postcards and signs, and it's just one of those things you can be immersed the whole time you're there. Also, I think Tiki Room is something to do at least once. If, like I said, if you have time or you need a weather break, Tiki Room is just sort of one of those fun, original, something that Walt really wanted. And, it's just sort of kitschy and cute. And, it fits the quirky and cool sort of thing here for Pop Culture Passport. Um, as far as the full park, the best thrill rides in the park that are open right now, I'm gonna say John would say Space Mountain and Tron, and probably Tiana's. I don't know if that's considered a thrill ride. It's not a ride I go on, but he really enjoyed it. He said the new theming, the new animatronics are gorgeous. Rides not to skip, in my opinion, are the Haunted Mansion, Small World, Jungle Cruise. I love the People Mover. If it's running, it's down a lot. So if it's running and not a huge line, like I'm not gonna stay more than 20, 30 minutes in a line for that. I will say that. Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, I will stay in about an hour line, and Small World, probably about 30 minutes, if I'm thinking that through. Also, I love the Walt Disney train. I like to take a lap around the whole park. It's relaxing. You just get to see some. And now, in true road trip fashion, we're making a quick pit stop. But instead of snacks, I've got something a little different for you. Spring is almost here, which means it's the perfect time to start planning our next adventures. To make it even more fun, I created a free bingo card filled with unique experiences, like visiting a roadside attraction, exploring a quirky museum, or my personal favorite, buying road trip snacks like a kid left unattended in the store. And here's the best part. Each episode of this podcast can help you with ideas to fill in a square. Ready to start checking off those boxes? Download your free bingo card at theroamingyeti.com and get inspired for your next trip. Backstage views, some what's going on, some construction views. I don't know, it's just a fun sort of nostalgic ride around the park and something worth checking out for sure. Now, food and drink suggestions. Honestly, leave the park and go to a monorail resort. No, I'm kidding, but not really. I'll get to it. For quick service, Pecos Bill in Frontierland is pretty good. It has Tex-Mex food. In January, we got nachos and a tamale, and they were much better than they've been in the past. So I think, and matter of fact, this was the first time I had a tamale. Knew they had tamales. So I think they're sort of up their food game there. Cosmic Rays has a good theme park burger. That's Julia's review. It's it's not the best burger you'll ever have, but as far as theme park burgers, it's good. They actually have a pretty good salad too, I can say. So if you if you just need something a little fresher, that's your stop. If you are a fan of Beauty and the Beast, you're probably gonna want to check out Be Our Guest. It's the restaurant inside of Beast Castle, and the Skipper Canteen is good. That is in Adventureland, sort of across from Jungle Cruise. It's sort of an extended storyline from Jungle Cruise. So it's pretty cool themed. It's fun. But check that menu before you go to see if it's a good match. It's the one place in the parks that when they say the food is spicy, they're not kidding. Um, so it's just, check that menu. But it is good. We typically snack our way through Magic Kingdom and then leave for dinner. So that's why I was joking about like leave. As far as snacks, Gaston's has a really good cinnamon bun. There is usually an egg roll cart on your way to Adventureland with different egg rolls. They have cheesesteak, a buffalo chicken one that John really likes. And then the Cheshire Cafe has a Cheshire tail, which is basically a really good chocolate croissant. So definitely sweet. And I already mentioned the caramel popcorn at Big Top Souvenirs. Um, One of my favorites. It's good. Sometimes it's not the freshest, so just be warned, but it's good. I like it. As far as tips, like what do I want to tell you? As you can see, like there's so much to do, and Magic Kingdom can be super overwhelming because of that. So what we usually do and what I suggest doing to people going that I talk to is prioritize what you want to do and then really take it from there. Like if you feel you need to ride as many things as possible, maybe it makes sense for you to purchase the Lightning Lane Plus or whatever it's called at this point in time. Um, but if you have a few priorities, like you should be fine. If it's not a super, super busy day. I also say, like, decide what your wait time threshold is. So are you willing to stand in an hour wait line or 30 minutes? So if you know that, it's sort of just you when you walk up, you see what the time is, you're like, nope, that's too long. You sort of already have that prepared in your head. So I, you know, it depends on the ride again for us, but there's some that's like 15, some 30, some that will do 60. So just sort of have that in your mind. Now, speaking of wait times, I'm going to tell you don't what I'm going to call is don't chase wait times. So you can look on your app on the app and it's going to tell you what wait times are. And often you're going to be on one end of the park and it's going to tell you. So say you're over near Pirates and you look down and it says Space Mountain is a 15-minute wait. Don't chase that. Don't chase that across the park because everyone else is seeing that and they're going over to get in that line. Now, if you're at at Teacups and you see Space Mountain, then go for it. You're real close. Get over there. Um, but just there, I can't tell you how many times we've made that mistake and we go over and all of a sudden the wait time's twice as much as it was when we started heading over there. If parades aren't a priority for you or the shows, choose that time to get into rides that may have longer wait times because people are waiting for the parade. Those wait times sometimes get a little lower. Bring a water bottle in to fill. Bottles of water are expensive there, and they are putting more and more bottle fillers that are getting added to the park. The one I always use, it has a filter on it as well, is the one in Cosmic Rays. And there's two. So you can fill up and you can enjoy the sweet, sweet tunes of Sunny Eclipse while you're in there. But if I'm being totally honest, and that's what I do here, is I I do say leave the park to eat. There aren't a lot of places in Magic Kingdom to sort of tuck away from the heat or the rain or the crowds. So if you're just feeling a sort of total sensory overload, I suggest heading over to Contemporary or Polynesian or even Grand Floridian, just to get a drink or eat something. Um, and it doesn't need to be an alcoholic drink, just to like sit down, have a soda, have a drink, have a mocktail. It just gets you out of the crowd, lets you sit, recharge a little bit, and then you can head right back in to the Magic Kingdom. Or, if you're done with that, go for, head off to another park. You can easily get to Epcot on the monorail. You can walk to Contemporary. You can take a boat to Polynesian, or you can take a monorail to both of them. So, like I said, it's just sometimes you just need to leave and come back. Get a little better food, a little better rest, and plus the hotels, they're also gorgeous. So go check them out. Now, I am going to say one thing I'm going to do as I'm leaving the park is I'm going to look up above the firehouse and I'm going to silently thank Walt for what he's given us. And I know that's not his real apartment. That's at Disneyland. I've actually been in there. So cool. But it's just my little way to, pay my respect with each trip. Magic Kingdom's a special place. It's an overwhelming place. It's an expensive place, but I really have enjoyed my time there. I think now I enjoy my time more because we're not trying to get on as many rides. So, pick the ones you want to do and take it from there. Now, on this week's Yeti Pop Pick, I am doing a full 180 because Universal has announced that their Universal Horror Unleashed is going to open in Las Vegas on August 14th this year. So what is Horror Unleashed? Well, they have built, they're building a year-round haunted houses in Vegas. And the 4 announced are Universal Monsters, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scarecrow the Reaping, and Blumhouse's The Exorcist Believer. I am not familiar with that. I know The Exorcist from growing up, but tickets will get you into all 4 houses. And when I looked, it looks like they start at $69. I think it's going to be based on day of the week, month of the year. And I'm sure it's going to be very high Halloween. I, for one, will not be checking this out, but if you do, let me know. I would love to hear about it, have you on the show, or you can just send me some information. I would love to hear it, but I'm not going. No, thank you. Sorry. Also, please don't forget to go to the Roaming Yeti website and subscribe to my newsletter, The Yeti Chronicles, and we will deliver you in your inbox that Roaming Yeti bingo card. You can use the squares to help you plan your summer and spring roaming and then keep track of it. So please get on that newsletter. I'm also my goal with the newsletter is to offer a few more tidbits as well that I'm not sharing on the podcast just because of time or topic. So you don't want to miss it for that reason either. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope that this episode inspires you to get out and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps to get the show in front of more people. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.